Now that we can create a user, register a user, and log in a user, along with redirecting them straight to the dashboard, I want to set it up so that we can have a logout function. And anytime we are in this space where there's a logout button, we can click it and be logged out. Let's go ahead and set that up. This is going to be relatively simple. When we go over to the web routes, I'm going to create another group for this dashboard under here because we are going to need the auth middleware to be around the logout as well. I'll do route middleware. This one will be auth, and it'll be a group function. And I'll grab this one for the dashboard and I'll put it in here just so that we have it sorted. And here I'm going to leave the name of dashboard, and here we can take off the, I'm going to copy this one. And then I'm going to do host instead of get. This will be to log out. And I'm actually going to put it in our auth controller. And the function for it will just be logout, and for the name will also be logout. Let's go ahead and set that up in the auth controller. And we'll do it at the bottom here. It'll be a public function, and the name of it is logout. And a couple of things we need to do in here, just like we had for the login, where we had auth login, we can also do auth logout. And here we're going to have the request session. We are going to invalidate it and leave that session at that. Also, let's bring in the request in here. We're also going to regenerate the token, and what I can do is copy this one. For the session, we'll do regenerate token. And then after that, we'll be able to redirect. So we can return, redirect, and we'll just head back to slash. It doesn't have a route name, so we'll just redirect straight to that. That's fine. Save that. And that should be good, but I also want to do the return type, which will be a redirect response. Our web route is done. Our function in the controller is done. Now we can go ahead to the dashboard blade. Come down here, and our login will be towards the bottom. Our logout. And right now we have a form around it with a submit button. So for our form action, it will be that new route that we just created. The method will be post. We'll do the CSRF. Our button is already submit, and everything should be good from there. Let's go ahead and give this a try. I'm going to refresh just to be sure, and then we'll go ahead log out. And as you can see, we're redirected back to the welcome view with our login and our register buttons active. And so now if we go to the dashboard, we should be redirected to the login page because we are no longer logged in. Great. Now, in the last part of this series, we created a layout for these auth pages so that they would pretty much have the same setup or what have you. They have a title, they have a form, they have content, then they have a footer as well. Now, the way that I showed you is the way that I learned how to do it initially when creating sort of this separation of sort of these pages and parts of the pages. And at that time, I would call them partials. There's been in the recent versions of Laravel a more modern way of doing this where you can create components to do this instead of the layout. So I do want to show you that so that you have an option so that when you see the two different ones, you know that they're essentially the same thing. They just are slightly different. Let's go and take a look at the code and see what that looks like. Now, there is a command to be able to do this, but I'm not going to show you the command at this time. It is in the Laravel documentation, but for something so simple, it's really just going to be better to just do it manually. In this views folder, I'm going to create another folder. I'm going to call the folder components, and in the components, I'm just going to call it auth layout.blade .php. And that's pretty much what that's going to look like. In this folder here, I am going to copy everything and I'm going to paste it in here, and then we'll make the changes accordingly. Instead of yielding the title, it's just going to be title. And everything else in that aspect is going to be pretty much the same. Instead of the yield here, we are going to say header. And we'll do that for all the rest of them. Content, form, footer, and now we can get rid of these. Save. That's what I'm going to leave as that. Now, if we come over to the auth register, I'm only going to do it for one. You can do it for the others if you wish. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create another register so that we can have a little bit of a different experience. Copy to register. The register 2 will be for the original setup that I showed you with the extends and the section and what have you. And the new one that I'm going to create for register is going to have that new component. Now, instead of this as extends, we're going to say X auth, and I need some brackets around that. So we'll do X auth layout and close that off. Laravel is clever enough to know that we are using a component for that auth layout. And anytime something is in this components folder, you're going to put X dash whatever it is, the name of the file, right? That's how that works. Now, these components, instead of using extends and section and stuff like that, what they do is they allow you to use slots. If you're familiar with Vue.js, Vue.js also uses slots to do the same thing. Basically, all this is saying is that that component, the auth layout, is going to have a property, a set of components in it that are going to be pulled in from other pages. This slot, we want to define the name of that slot because in this auth layout blade here, you can see we have it written like this, and this is where the slots are going to be displayed to. Here is going to be X slot title. And then we're going to take this register because anything on that page that has the title now, that slot, will be whatever's in here. I'm going to delete this, and then we'll do the same thing for the header. And now we can paste all of this in the header slot. So go ahead, get rid of this. And now we have the form. You can have anonymous slots too. And that's mostly for if you don't have a title for anything or have a specific name for anything, you can do that. And so we'll grab the form. So that form is done. And now we can get rid of it from here. And we'll do the same thing for footer. And now we can go ahead and get rid of this one, save that, and everything should work exactly the same. So let's go to the register and see. Now, as you can see here on our register view, we have an undefined variable of content. Well, we didn't make a slot for content because we don't have any content on that page that we need. That's not one of the pages where we have content on the blade. So we do need to make an allowance for that. And we can go to the components, the auth layout that we just made, and then we can say, or just an empty string. Great. So if there's no content slot for it, then just put an empty string and that's all good. So everything should work the same as I said. Let's go ahead, try to submit, make sure our route works. And great, we are able to log in and we are good. And if we want to log out, then our logout also works as well. If you're enjoying the content, please go ahead and click that like button as it really does help out the channel. Here's a video YouTube thinks you'll like, and here's a playlist to follow along. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.